Good morning, Year 4. It's Mrs. Collins here with Thursday's maths lesson. Please write today's short date, 4th of the 3rd, 2021, and the learning objective to count in fractions on the next clean page of your maths book. Pause the clip to give yourself time and press play when you're ready to start. Are you ready to make a start? Let's go. All week we've been working on these number challenges. Choose the chiller challenge that you work on, write the number on top and see if you can answer the questions below. I wonder if you can get all 5 correct, or if you could challenge yourself to do more than one chiller challenge. Pause the clip, give yourself 5 minutes and press play when you're ready to mark. Welcome back, Year 4. Have you had a good go at this? Let's see if you got your answers right. Grab a blue pen or a pencil if not, to mark your answers and get ready to shout your answers out at the screen. Let's start with mild. 22. Is it odd or even? It's even. Give yourself a tick if you got that right. What's 10 more than 22? 32. What's 10 less? 12. What's half of 22? 11. What's double 22? 44. Well done. Let's move on to spicy. Your number was 45. Is it odd or even? Odd. What's 10 more? 55. What's 10 less? 35. What's half of 45? 22.5. What's double 45? 90. Give yourself a mark out of 5. Did you have a go at the hot challenge? Can you shout the answers out? Your number was 3001. Is it odd or even? Odd. What's 10 more? 3000 and I should say 11. What's 10 less? 10 less is 2991. What's half the number? 1500.5. What's double the number? 6002. How many did you get right? Give yourself a score at the bottom. I can't wait to see the answers in your books. Let's move on to Skills Sharp. Today we're going to be working on multiplying by 100. In your pack, you've got a place value sheet that looks like this to help you with your multiplication. Okay, we've got the number 5 in this sum, 5 times 100. Where would 5 go on the place value grid? That's right, it's 5 ones. So could you write 5 in the ones column? We're timesing 5 by 100. When we multiply by 100, the numbers move 2 places to the left. And a good way to remember that is that 100 has 2 zeros. That will help you to remember to move the digits 2 places to the left. The numbers move to the left because the number's getting bigger, because we're multiplying it. We're making it 100 times bigger. So let's do it together. Number 5 moves 2 places to the left. 1, 2. We'll write that underneath in the hundreds column. So what needs to go here if the 5's in the hundreds column? That's right, the placeholders. So 5 times 100 equals 500. Let's have another go. What about the number 16? Could you write it on the place value grid? Where would each digit go? 16 has 1 10 and 6 ones. The question is asking us to multiply it by 100. So each digit needs to move 2 places to the left. Start with the tens, we're going to move the 1, 2 places to the left and write it underneath. And we're going to move the number 6 2 places, 1, 2 to become 600s. What needs to go in these 2 spaces here? That's right, the placeholders. So 16 times by 100 is 1,600. Does that make sense? Let's have a go at this one. We've got 204. Could you write that in the place value grid? So we've got 200s, 0 10s and 4 ones. We're going to times the number by 100, so we're moving each digit 2 places to the left. Now I've already spotted that I'm going to be struggling for space because this place value grid doesn't have a tens thousands column. We'll just add one on there. So we're going to move the number 200 2 places to the left. 1, 2 and write it in there. We're then going to move the 0 10s 2 places to the left. We can't leave that out. 1, 2. And we write that in the thousands. We're going to move the 4 2 places to the left. 1, 2. And we write that in. And then we can't forget to put the placeholders in the right place. Comma goes after the thousands. And the number says, can you read it with me? 20,400. My place value grid didn't have the tens, thousands in there. I just added it in so that we'd got space. You can do that on yours too if you don't have it on yours. What about if it's a decimal number? We've got 1.3. Where would that go on the place value grid? So we've got 1, 1. Decimal point stays in the same place, and 3 tenths. Timesing by 100, so the same rules apply. We're going to move each digit 2 places to the left. Let's move number 1, 1, 2, write it underneath, and let's move the 3 tenths, 1, 2, and write it in the tens column. What goes in the ones column here? The placeholder. 1.3 times by 100 equals 130. You've had a good practice with that year 4. I'd like you to have a go yourself. So use your place value grid to answer these questions. Write the calculations out neatly in your book, pause the clip and press play when you're ready to go through the answers. Welcome back. Have you had a go at timesing by 100? I wonder if anyone's done all 3 challenges. Let's mark together. Shout your answers out. 6 times 100 is 600. 8 times 100 is 800. 11 times 100 is 1100. Spicy challenge. 45 times 100 is 4,500. 72 times 100 is 7,200. 431 times 100 is 43,100. Well done if you had a go at that. Did you have a go at the hot challenge? Starts with a decimal. Let's see what you got. 1.5 times by 100 equals 150. 542 times by 100 equals 54,200. 300 times by 100 equals 30,000. Well done. Mark those in your book. You can write the correct answer if you got any wrong. Great effort, Year 4. Let's move on to today's main lesson. We're moving on to counting fractions today. You've worked really hard this week because we know that fractions can be quite tricky, but you've listened well and you've had your best go in your books. Great effort. So today we're working on counting in fractions. On the screen you'll see some fractions. I'd like you to tell me which of these fractions are greater than 1. So for example, if I've got a bar with 8 pieces, if I've got 8 eighths, so 8 of those pieces coloured in, then that's a whole one, that's 1. If I'd got 9 pieces, that's greater than 1, because 9 eighths is the same as 1 whole one and 1 eighth left over. So have a look at these fractions. Can you tell me which ones are greater than 1? A quick way to do it is to see if the number at the top is bigger than the number at the bottom. This is called an improper fraction. Let's have a look together. So 11 eighths is greater than 1. 5 sixths isn't greater than 1 because the whole one would be 6 sixths. 7 tenths isn't greater than 1 because the whole one would be 10 tenths. 29 fifteenths is greater than 1. 10 tenths isn't greater than 1, it's exactly 1 whole one. 1 3/4 is greater than 1 because we've got 1 whole one and 3/4 left. Let's have a look at this sequence. We've got some fractions here and the sequence is going up by 2 tenths each time. Let's see if we can spot the pattern. So we've got 1 tenth, 3 tenths. So we've added 2 tenths to that because 1 add 2 is 3. Let's add another 2 to it. What would the answer be? What's 3 add 2? That's right, 5 tenths. Add another 2. 7 tenths. Add another 2. 9 tenths. Well done. And you'd set this out in your book like this. Can you tell me what would come next? Add another 2 tenths. 11 tenths. What would come next? 13 tenths. Well done. Can you see that this mathematician has spaced their work out really neatly in their maths book and they've left gaps in between? That's how we'd like to see your maths work set out today. Let's have a look at this question. What fraction comes next in the sequence? Read the sequence with me. 1/5, 3/5, 5/5, 7/5. Do you spot a pattern? The denominator, the bottom number, stays the same each time, but the top number is getting bigger by 2. So what is 7 add 2? That's right, so 9/5 would go in the gap. I think we're ready to make a start with our independent activity. You've listened really well this morning, well done. In your pack, you've got your challenge. Please set your work out in your book. If you need to use the sheet to make jottings or to colour in any of the questions, that's absolutely fine. And if you need help, drop us an email at the Year 4 email address. Try your best, do what you can, and we hope you enjoyed the activity. See you tomorrow for more maths.